Let's do this. All right, we are live. Welcome everybody to today's edition of our Sunday Watch Party. My name is Sharon, and I am co-hosting with Mr. Furzel today. Welcome, Mr. Furzel.
Thanks, Sharon.
We are watching Death Becomes Her, um, a comedy, sci-fi, horror gem of a movie from the early 90s with very definite early 90s vibes with the special effects, but there is a lot to enjoy about this one. Um, we're going to queue up right now at the Universal logo, and it should say at the bottom an MCA company. My rental from Amazon is about 59 seconds in. This is right before the crux of the movie starts. Um, so if we are give everybody a few seconds to cue on in, and we'll get a going on it. All right, we got the chats are active. All right, Mr. Furzy, you want to give us a countdown, and we will all press play.
Okay, everybody, in five, four, three, two, one, press play.
Yeah, Matt had to get past yeah. There's two Universal logos.
Yep,
They have the first one and then the Universal MCA company. So we're just starting at the second one.
yep.
Um, all right. So it is a Robert Zemeckis film.
Oh, I almost
Great
forgot that.
director.
Yeah.
It will be. It'll be a great watch. Whether or not we enjoy the movie, um,
Hmm.
I enjoy your guys' company. So let's get into it. Um, in our YouTube chat, let's do a shout out to everybody there. We have Matt, we have Eric, Johnny Devitt, Calbot, Alex Peacock. Um, all right, and over in Discord, we've had some lively chats going on there. We have Frag Lord, was posting a little bit ago. Mr. Furzel's there, Sith Sister, Alex Peacock, Matt's posting over there too, Calbot. All right, wonderful guys. We're doing double duty in YouTube and Discord. Um, and we are, all right, we are away into the movie. Who
Hmm.
has not seen this before? Like at all? Um, and who has maybe seen this but hasn't seen it in a while? Um, and this, of course, early 90s, we have Meryl Streep, Goldie Hawn, um, Bruce Willis, Isabella Rossellini has a minor role, couple scenes. Um, all big stars. They were all big
Yep.
stars back in the day. Um,
Yeah, old
okay,
Johnny
Johnny
Devick.
Depp.
Yeah, I'm right about where you are, old Johnny Devick. I remember seeing this at some point, maybe bits and pieces. I might have seen it all together one time. Didn't quite stick in my memory all that positively, but yeah, it's a different time, so I'm looking forward to giving it another watch.
Yeah, that's an interesting comment, Johnny Devick. Saw this on VHS, but can't remember liking it. But it was a different time now. Um, back in the early '90s, this was revolutionary in a way. A lot of stuff that had not been done before. Um, the crux of the CGI revolution. The image behind us was a chat GBT 90s movie magic, the dawn of CGI. I don't know what
Yep.
Yoda has to do with it, but okay. I don't know. But we had Jurassic Park, The Mask. Who else do we have there? Is that Silver Surfer or is that
It's
yeah,
either
that would have to be
it's either him
oh,
or the T1000, probably more
could
likely.
be. Um
Or actually, he might be in the background there too. Hmm.
Yeah, and spaceships. Yeah, so the 90s was the dawn of CGI.
Yep.
Jurassic Park really kicked it into high gear, but this movie does have its pleasantries. Um, Fun little plot. Nothing, nothing too heavy for a Sunday. So, oh, Miss Swift, hello, hello. Oh, Miss Swift running late. Matt is saying seen it once, one and done until today. Well, welcome, Matt. Welcome, welcome. Um, Miss Swift is saying I saw it before, probably around the time it came out, which has been a while.
Yep.
Alex
Oh,
Peacock, I think I have seen Radioland Murders more than this. Well, there you go.
well, David Kep also did the writing. That's interesting. He's done a couple things with Zemeckis before.
Um, yeah, interesting. In Zemeckis, we've got a list of all of his work, and
Oh
somehow
yeah.
he fit this little movie into it. Um, Sif's sister saying it's been a while.
Now,
Yep.
I like
Um,
Peacock saying, I don't know why Gort from The Day the Earth Stood Still is in there. Well, it just goes to show you why AI is not perfect and still needs our oversight.
yep. Yep. I tried to improve the image, but ChatGPT still doesn't get it right. But it still kind of captures the essence of what the 90s were like.
Yep. To be fair, I've also I've for the first time this year started dabbling a little bit in it myself to help me create materials and resources for some of my plans. So I'm starting to see how it can be used for a force for good.
Yes, it can, and in small doses, I believe.
Absolutely.
Um, Obviously, not taking the place of doing your own research,
Yep.
um, going to original source material. But, for fun images, I think it does a very good job.
Yep.
Um, okay, so here we have Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn and Bruce Willis introducing the characters. And it's interesting because back in the 90s, Meryl Streep was a huge star.
Yep.
I don't recall, I think she's playing against type here, an aging actress who is holding on to her youth and trying to stay relevant. My opinion about Meryl is that she has aged very gracefully through
Yep.
the movies. Um, and I never got the sense that she was chasing that eternal youth like a lot of
Yep.
actresses you see. Um, but yeah, we're just introduced to the characters to get their what origination, where they're coming from.
Hmm.
Um,
Really makes you wonder. I mean,
oh,
because her even the character that Meryl Streep is playing here. I mean, she's still obviously beautiful. So what would make her want to make a deal with the devil, so to speak, and you know, find some sort of immortality formula?
I think actresses and actors are all chasing that to get those younger roles because I think once you pass a certain age, you get the mother, the father, the grandparent role. You don't get to play the ingenue. And I know
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them chase that and they chase the looks, style over substance. Um, you know, uh, it really should just be about aging gracefully because
Yep.
we can't, you can't chase it.
Yep. And I
What?
think it's also that theme of accepting the fact that not everything that comes with age is good, but there's wisdom, there's experience, and in the long run, having those experiences and having that temporariness, can is what gives life its real meaning.
Yes. Um, yeah, isn't that an old saying that to truly understand the gift of life, we do have to have death at the end.
Yep.
Um, but that's like a whole other conversation we can have about would you want eternal life?
Yeah.
Um,
That was actually a question I was going to pose to the chat. If there was, because there have been other movies that have talked about immortality, but there's always a catch that kind of comes along with it, and obviously this movie is no different. And I was just wondering, Chad, if you could have like a movie version of immortality with a catch, would it be this one, or would it be some other version, like the knight from Last Crusade, where you can be immortal, but you have to like stay in that little room forever? Would you guys go for that, or would it just not be worth it to you?
there's isn't there always is a catch.
Yeah.
You have you're immortal, but you never age, so you will have to always reinvent yourself, and you will have to fake your death to keep living.
Mm,
So there's always a catch, but a catch for the knight that has to stand guard, that's his catch. I mean, how far would one go?
yeah.
Um, Alex Peacock says I'd go with the Highlander version.
Alex Peacock, I'm
Um,
100% with you on that one. I think
yep.
I would take that. Of course, I'm not very
Um,
good with my sword play, so maybe I wouldn't hang on to it very long.
yeah. Um, yeah. Interesting comment, Matt. Catch 22 actors want fame, but annoyed with attention. Oh yeah. We want our privacy. We want our privacy. We don't like the press. That's a way of saying I want to be humble. I want you guys to think I'm humble, that I don't seek attention, but yet I'm in a profession where I seek attention,
Hmm.
and I'm only profitable if you pay attention to me. Yeah, it's interesting. It's a weird area. Um, you get it, someone in the industry for a very long time, they want to stay in the industry and want to be relevant. Um, but and here we have the progression of the relationship where Meryl Streep's character stole Goldie Hawn's boyfriend, husband.
Hmm.
Um, Interesting. This is an interesting scene here in the mental hospital because she's just totally lost grip. Um, the gal on the end there on the left, that is Deborah Jo Rupp, who plays Kitty in the '70s show.
Oh,
If you, if you don't recognize her, she's only there for just a few seconds. Um, and yes, there was a comment before about didn't they CGI Yoda for the uh, prequel Star Wars movies? I believe they did. I think that's
yep.
why Yoda's in this. I try to forget those prequels, but there you go. Um, all right, so Helen is obsessed with Madeline, and she has kind of let herself go. But why is she now in a mental institution? She just went bonkers because she stole her boyfriend? I mean, is he that much of a catch? Or does it have more to do with her insecurity as a person?
I think it's the latter.
Yep. Oh, Calbot says he was a puppet in the theatrical release on episode 1, but replaced with CGI on DVD.
Yep.
Oh, interesting, because I remember seeing a Phantom Menace in the theaters and then on DVD, and I probably haven't noticed that he was CGI'd. Hmm. Yeah. Isn't that interesting about just the evolution of practical effects slash puppets, um, latex monsters, and then the slow evolution to now where everything is CGI.
Hmm.
I think the '80s was a perfect decade for movies. The '90s was that blend of let's see what CGI can do and holy cow, look what CGI can do.
Yep.
To now where we all know everything is CGI. Um, And yeah, Alex, he got CGI'd for the Blu-rays. Yeah, CGI'd is now like a bad verb. He got CGI'd.
Hmm.
Um, oh, Matt over there in Discord in a mental hospital. Perhaps she went overboard. Oh, that is a really good Goldie Hawn Kurt Russell movie.
Hmm.
Okay, here we see Madeline Ashton chasing that eternal youth.
Hmm. So now the context of the film makes a little more sense because now we've proceeded like 14 years from the start of the
Yeah.
film where Ashton's career was already down on a slope. So now 14 years older, 14 years removed from that, it makes a little bit more sense that she might be coming desperate for some sort of cure all.
Yeah, and she's probably at that age where a lot of the Hollywood stars start getting those radical treatments. Um, Bruce Willis plays Ernest Menville. Ernest. Um, have we seen his career yet? Do we know what he does? I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but he fits in perfectly with the story. Um, he's just this, I guess he's regretting his life decisions at this point. Um,
Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary, probably 8 o'clock in the morning. So interestingly, when this movie came out, it wasn't necessarily, um, it wasn't panned, but there wasn't like an overwhelming love for this movie. I think it was somewhere in the middle. The budget understandably was about 55 million and it looks like it made about 150 million,
Hmm.
um, which is pretty respectable. There are the one revolutionary CGI effect that this movie is credited with was computer generating skin, and you'll see a lot of it later on. Skin and hair and eyes, I think the programs still to this day struggle with the proper technique and the proper motion. Um, for some reason in this movie, it works. All right, here we go. We have Ernest in his element.
Do they usually hire plastic surgeons to perform post mortem surgical correction?
He is, you'd think he was a plastic surgeon, but he is actually a cosmetic embalmist.
Oh, wow.
That's technically his career, where he, not decorates. That's a poor choice of words. He um, makes up the dead bodies like a makeup artist. Yeah, Alex Peacock. I saw it was 150 million worldwide. Domestic wasn't huge, but it had some major competition. Right, let's talk about the competition it had in 92. Um, when it came out, what else was in the theater? What was going on in the world in 92? Because society does play a part in whether movies are successful or not.
Hmm.
I remember 92. I don't remember what the world was like when this movie hit the theaters. Um, because it doesn't sound like anyone here had seen it in the theater. Everybody kind of saw it later on rentals and DVDs.
Hmm.
I don't remember it being in the theaters, but I remember it being in the rental market. That's probably where I saw it. And then it made its rounds on like USA Network or TNT, probably HBO kind of thing. Yeah, Sis
Yeah.
Sister VHS for me. Yep. Um, Anybody wants to pull up what? what the competition was uh, in the theater.
I'm actually
Um,
I'm looking at some of the films that came out. I know that Batman Returns was out that year. Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula came out.
there you go.
Under Siege, that was Steven Seagal. Harrison Ford, Patriot Games. Wesley Snipes, Passenger 57. Single White Female was a popular drama. It was out that time. Um, the first Beethoven movie, way back when, that was 92. Sneakers was also 92. Um,
Sneakers.
yeah, so some familiar faces, some familiar names, but nothing too striking. My cousin Vinny, Encino Man, Lawnmower Man, uh,
That's
memoirs
some big
memoirs of an
competition.
yeah, Memoirs of an Invisible Man
Yep.
too, which very few people remember. I actually look at back on that film very fondly, but
Ooh,
seems like not many people know it very well.
from
Old,
1992.
see, old Johnny Devick says Aladdin did big business. Oh, was that in 92? I
Yep.
thought that was 91. Okay. Basic Instinct, True.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Alex Peacock, League of Their Own. Yeah. Um, Basic Instinct. Yeah, 92. So yeah, for some reason this movie just kind of got lost in the shuffle.
Yep.
Which is not surprising because I remember Dark Knight was everywhere. Oh, The Bodyguard. Thank you, Johnny Devick.
Yep. Yeah, that was all over the
Wow.
place, I remember.
Yep. Yep. But this is a cute little movie. Actually, I did hear that it won an Academy Award for visual effects.
That
Hmm.
makes sense.
Um, let's pull up what its competition was. Uh, Industrial Light and Magic did the effects in this movie.
Hmm.
Yeah, of course, by then it wasn't yeah, Industrial Light and Magic was a pretty big deal by this time. All right, let's see what uh,
Oh, Vivian Adams. That's or this actress. She's I saw her in a couple of Richard Donner movies.
yep.
She's definitely her
Was
name
it
escapes me.
the first, or was it the first or second Lethal Weapon?
I think she was in all of them actually. I think
Was
she
she
had
in
a
all
little
of
bit part.
them? Okay.
Yeah, as the psychiatrist. Spray paint.
Okay, so this is interesting. It says Death Becomes Her won the Academy Award for Best Visual Effects, defeating two other nominees, Alien 3 and Batman Returns. Um, yeah, I think simply for the fact that they revolutionized the some of the effects here are just downright amazing for the time. Um,
Yep.
oh, she was the mom in Goonies, wasn't she? Thank you, Matt. Sister's also saying she's in all of them. I only remember her from the one scene, I think in the first or second one, but she does. She makes just a small appearance in all of them. Um, okay, so we're getting Goldie Hawn appearing back in a red dress. That is, I think she's doing a shout out to Richard Donner, I believe,
Hmm.
who she had worked with in the past with that red dress. I could be mistaken, but she purposely chose that dress as a shout out to not Robert Zemeckis, but another director. Oh, Miss Swift is saying, I know I had no desire to see this until I saw the Movie Magic episode that talked about its special effects, which I'm sure, well, let me rephrase that. The special effects would have taken up a majority of the budget, but don't forget, we've got 3 or 4 really big stars at this time that would have commanded big paychecks. Goldie Hawn she was a big deal in her own right. Bruce Willis, I think at this time um, yeah, he was a major movie star. I think had he given up his TV career, he's past moonlighting. He was
Yeah.
now in his movie career.
Yeah, I
Um,
think after Die Hard in '88, I don't think he looked back. And yeah, his star was
yeah.
definitely on the rise in the early '90s. But this was definitely a departure because I think at that point he was mostly doing, other action films in a similar vein to Die Hard. So for him to play this kind of quirky little role was, kind of against type at the time for him.
Yeah, this really has what? No direct action sequences, no bad guys that he's fighting. Yeah, Alex Peacock, yeah, John McClane now. He was probably 3 movies in at this point.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Mad Matt, Richard Donner rocked so many red dresses. Yep, exactly. Um, all right. So, yeah, so as you know, Chuck Norris passed away
Oh yeah.
just a couple days ago. And I think to honor him, the internet has been flooded with the Chuck Norris jokes. That is just the best way to honor him. If you've got your favorite Chuck Norris isms, shout it out, and we will just salute him. We did um, what a couple years ago we did one of his what is it, Delta Force? Did we do Delta Force like two
So,
years ago? That was a lot of fun.
mm.
And he's now what, kicking ass in eternity.
I've been telling people he's not actually dead. He's just so good at being undercover for his next mission that, that's what he's up to right now.
Yep. Or the one that he was tired of living this mortal existence being undefeated, so he had to take it to the next level, and he's looking for a fight. Yep. Oh, yes, Alex Peacock. Nicholas Brennan from the Buffy show passed away too. He was 54 years old. He was young. That is young. Um, Thank you, Miss Swift. Nothing can kill Chuck Norris, so he tracked down nothing and killed it first. There you go. And in the immortal words of Dodgeball, thank you, Chuck Norris.
That's right.
Yep. Um, all right, so how far? This movie is only about an hour and 40 minutes long. Um, we're kind of now getting into the heart of all the special effects. Yes, thank you, Matt, for that GIF of Chuck Norris. Johnny Devick, the devil better be careful if he values his teeth. Yep. Um, oh, so this is one of the biggest what shots to the heart of any woman of a certain age. She is trying to get her youth back by having a very young boyfriend, and even he rejects her. So this is like the last stake in Madeline's heart. It's going to send her over the edge. Oh, Alex Peacock. Yes, I heard another rumor that you were bitten by a king cobra. Yeah, and the cobra died. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, it was from the Expendables.
Oh yeah, that's a great. I think it's a trilogy of movies, isn't it? The Expendables has 3 movies,
Yeah, yeah, I think, yeah, they got at least three.
3 or 4 of them. Yep. Uh, um, all right. So, not, yeah, there's a little lull in the movie. For all of you that weren't aware, we were having a discussion in the chat a little bit ago, about creator VC's watch parties, like some of the very first ones. I have not an exhaustive list, but I have most of the watch parties that we have been a part of, starting way back in, I believe, March or April, would have been March of 2020. And according to my records, the very first one was The Hidden. And then Superman 2, Star Trek 4, The Thing, Spaceballs, Ghostbusters, Robert Jocks, Alien Special Edition, and Blade Runner. Those were some of the first movies that we did. Um, and it was 6 years ago at this point. Holy smokes.
Hmm.
Um, if anybody is interested in compiling and getting some of the complete records, I'm just missing a few dates. If anybody has info, I'd love to add it, to my dates. I'm missing a couple in 2021 in January, in May. Um, so it is interesting going back and seeing what movies we have done, because a lot of them we've done twice, or Creator VC has done twice. Um, Superman 2, they did twice. I think The Thing they've done twice. Aliens twice. Um, I mean, classic movies. I would not mind bringing those back in to our watch parties at some point. Um, but yeah, just throwing it out there if you guys have any info, if you guys want the list. Um, a couple of us were talking and we've almost got it complete. Eric says, yeah, maybe you could ask Andrew. I was not there for the first watch parties. I joined later on. Yeah, I can reach out to Andrew. He might not even have the complete records. They
Hmm.
started off on Discord and it was done a lot different at first. Yeah, Alex, all the Supermans are done. Um,
Hmm.
oh, Alex, do you want to do a Superman month, like 1 through 4? I wouldn't mind at some point doing them again. They were fun.
Hmm.
Mm. So Matt, this is a really interesting scene for special effects. This is where it kind of gets kicked into high gear. So she thinks she has found the fountain of youth, like once and for all, to take care of all of her woes. Um, okay, Sis Sister came in around 2021 when Ever in Search of Darkness 2 came out. Um, yeah, that around 2021? 20, yeah. God, it doesn't seem like that long ago, guys, but these watch parties have been around for 6 years.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. Isabella Rossellini.
Hmm.
Um, she was, I believe she was 39. Meryl Streep was 37 at this point. That's that's not old, but I guess in Hollywood years, that's over the hill. That's where you can't play the young ingenue anymore. You have to play those older roles. Um, and why fight it? Yes, Matt. Nice beads. Yep, yep. I think the makeup is making Meryl Streep purposefully look old and frayed.
Yeah, they definitely, I noticed in that scene where she and Helen were talking again for the first time after a while, that it seemed like they added some wrinkles around her chin, around her eyes.
And Helen seems to have aged backwards or just taken really good care of herself. And so I find it hard to believe that these two women are fighting over Ernest because he doesn't appear to be much of a catch at this point. But for any woman out there, it's usually never about the guy. It's about competition
Yeah,
between other women. It's never really about the guy.
yep.
Um, oh yes. Matt posted a picture of Jamie Lee Curtis from Freaky Friday, where she says, "I'm like the crypt keeper." She was in her 30s, late 30s, I think, in that movie too. Um,
Hmm.
where she was with Lindsay Lohan.
Yep. She's still a looker now.
Yeah, she's always taking good care of herself. I don't know as if all the plastic surgery was the reason.
Mm.
I don't know. Oh, Miss Swift. Also, the young lover was Andy Stork, probably best known as Larry Underwood from The Stand. Good catch. I did not pick that up. Okay, and Isabella Rossellini. She was a big deal in the 90s and I believe the 80s as well. Um, Alex Peacock. I think I first saw Isabella in the TV movie of the Odyssey starring Armand Assante.
Oh
Wow, when
yeah,
was that?
that
Wow,
was
does
oh
anybody?
that was back in the like
Wow,
'97, I want to say. Yeah, I remember
wow.
that because I would use bits and pieces from that TV movie version when I would teach the Odyssey to my students.
And of course, her famous mother, Ingrid Bergman, and her
Mm.
father, Roberto Rossellini. Rossellini. I'm not sure what the correct pronunciation. Um, yep. And she was married to Martin Scorsese from, I think, late mid 80s. I think she was married to him for a while. No way, Matt. Jamie Lee Curtis was 44 in Freaky Friday. I guess some people are just blessed with good genes. Um, okay, Miss Swift and Alex Peacock both say Eric Roberts was in that version too. And of course, Eric Roberts has got the biggest filmography
Oh
of
yeah.
anybody. Mm. So we're going to find out the catch of this potion because if it's too good to be true, it usually is. Would anyone here pay everything they have for a potion like this?
I want to see the
But
number.
if you didn't know, um, the what you didn't have any warnings, nothing until after you drank it. Because this is pretty diabolical. She's not giving her any of the contraindications. Um, yeah, Eric, Jamie Lee Curtis in True Lies. That was from 92.
I like this effect that the potion, like, she can kind of see it and it kind of like moves through the veins.
It does that effect on her hand did look CGI-ish. Um, Thank you, Cal. But Meryl Streep was 42 in this. I thought she was in her 30s.
Hmm.
Let's see what Goldie Hawn. This was 92. Okay, according to my math, Goldie Hawn was 47 in this. Does someone else want to do some math for me? Because that doesn't seem right. She looks a lot younger. Yeah, Matt, rose glasses, I think. I'm looking at it through the best possible lens. Oh, look at that. She's not even thinking of anything bad.
Now a warning.
Now a warning. You should have asked before you took it. I mean, wouldn't you guys? We would, I don't know. Yeah,
Siempre
so
vivo.
Alex, yeah, Goldie Hawn was born in 45. So 92 minus 45 is 47.
I didn't realize Goldie Hawn was a boomer.
Wow. So here we have in scene her what? Her metamorphosis. Um, this scene where her boobs are getting perky, that's actually a practical effect. I think they had tried CGI and it didn't look right. So someone was standing behind her, pushing up her boobs. Ernest, okay, Ernest is kind of a mess. If you have eternal life, would you really go after Ernest? You would if it's all about getting what your friend took from you.
Yeah, I think
Yep,
that's what the Goldie Hawn's character and Meryl Streep's character are now just vying back and forth, like who can possess this thing that
yep.
is a prize between them.
Yeah, Matt is saying, I want to be a boob wrangler. I think that's what they called the position. It's a boob wrangler.
Well, Johnny Depp,
Okay.
again, good job.
Yeah, not a bad job. And you just stand behind like lifting people's butts, lifting their boobs. Um, all right, Alex Peacock. Her boy Wyatt is in his early 40s, so he chuckles when people say he should play a young Snake Plissken, who Kurt played in his mid to late 20s. That's right. Wyatt and I think Wyatt and Kirk, are they in a movie now or is it a TV show that
I
they're
think
working together?
I think they're in a TV show. I think it's a Apple TV series based off the Monarch organization, like the whole King Kong, Island of Monsters thing. I mean, chat,
Oh,
double check me if I'm wrong on that one.
what is it? Monarch of Monsters? Monarch Monsters or something? Legacy of Monsters. Is that it?
Yeah, something
That
along that
sounds
line.
like it. Oh, Miss Swift, I think the first thing I saw Isabella Rossellini in was the USA movie Lies of the Twins opposite Aidan Quinn. Um, I think she got to what notoriety. She got noticed as a model at first, and I think then she got into acting. And of course, having famous parents, good genes didn't hurt. There you go. Is Matt? No, yep, Matt posted that. Goldie Hawn from Laugh-In, late 60s. That was when she was first starting out. One of her first gigs was in Laugh-In. Wow.
I wonder if they have enough bottles of booze in that car.
They're just not nice people. So this is how they want to end her life.
Conspiring to murder. That's what a
Yeah.
sane person always does.
And so with her out of the way, they wouldn't live happily ever after because the conquest is done. You got what you wanted. You have no competition. You'd get bored.
Hmm.
Yeah, sis sisters also say that. I don't think there was enough booze. And if you go over and your car crashes and you burn to death, there's not gonna be much left. Oh, she's conniving. She thought of everything. Um, yeah, Alex Peacock, Aidan Quinn, and Armand Assante are two actors that don't get enough exposure. Um, I think, oh, didn't Armand pass away? No, he's still around.
Yeah.
Good for him. I think he must have retired because I'm not seeing anything lately. Ah, interestingly enough, he was in Private Benjamin, 1980 with Goldie Hawn. Um, I think that was Goldie Hawn's first and only Oscar nomination, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
Um, okay, and the name escapes me of her co-star Eileen Brennan in Private Benjamin was nominated for, I think, supporting actress, and she won. I believe she won the Academy Award. Yeah, Alex Peacock. Yeah, good for him. He's not dead yet.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that is good. I mean, when actors kind of retire or they just stop working, it's easy for them to just get in the back of my brain where you don't see them anymore. You don't, there's no mention of them. So you kind of wonder, hey, are they still around?
It's quite a chateau they're living in there.
So it's either Ernest has done very well for himself or Madeline was doing well for them.
Yep. Well, maybe probably a
Not
little bit of
sure who,
both.
maybe a little bit of both, who was the breadwinner.
Yep.
And look at that. She's pretty proud of herself. She got what she wanted. Ultimately, this is what she wanted. And so be very careful what you wish for. Did she really, Alex Peacock? Goldie apparently won her Oscar in 1970 for supporting actress? Okay. Yes. And I don't think she was expecting that she was going to win.
Mm.
Her first big role came in 1969 when she played opposite Walter Matthau and Ingrid Bergman in Cactus Flower 1969, a role which earned her an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. Good for her. I probably knew that at some point. Yes, Miss Swift. Armand Asante played the guy she almost married in Private Benjamin. Okay, this is one of the scene that probably won them the Academy Award. This scene coming up. And Sydney Pollack is going to have a cameo in one of the next scenes. Yeah, for some reason he just pops up and has a little role. Yes, Mad Matt. Eileen Brennan was also in Clue. Hmm. Was she uh, Miss Scarlet? Mrs. Peacock. She was Mrs. Peacock. Okay, here we go.
Ah, just after she got it off the showroom.
Oh, not a nice guy.
Ooh. And those are marble steps.
Yes, that is a very unforgiving staircase.
Whew.
Very unforgiving for the body.
And so this is the catch: is that you live forever, in spite of all the damage that may or may not be done to your body.
Yep.
Hmm.
Fun fact, he would be charged with murder had she not already been dead. But yeah, that's a pretty cool effect. Her body all mangled, no blood. Yep,
Yeah,
Alex
this.
Peacock, good dummy in the fall. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this movie is still, in spite of its subject matter, still PG-13. So yeah, I mean, cutting out the blood probably would have been a good move to keep it that way.
Yeah. And I don't think there's any bad words, any cursing.
Yep.
Um, I haven't noticed any. Uh, because
Alex
I think
Peacock.
you're allowed one F bomb.
Alex Peacock. I hear that the female actually speaks in the new season that's coming up. He just posted a GIF in Discord there.
Oh yes, yeah. Isn't the final season of The Boys coming out pretty soon?
Yep. Yeah, being a big fan of superhero media. I mean, I just eat all that stuff up. I'm really looking forward to that.
Okay, here we go. She is not dead, and I think they did very well by blurring out her image.
I do
Um,
like that they frame the shot where he's still in it and she's in the background, so we can see her kind of like fidgeting and moving around.
yep, and I believe it's a CGI, but it's not good enough that they could have focused on that.
She's trying to
But
walk backward because
that's
her head's turned around.
that's pretty cool. And then only when she comes further into the scene do you see what is wrong with her. And she doesn't even realize. And then we're cut into practical effects. It's not all CGI. So it is probably at this point in the 90s, you can still tell what is practical and what is CGI. Yes, Matt, he's only mostly dead. She's mostly dead.
I think they probably had an actress or stunt double walking backward, and then they green screened in her head like as her moving forward. It looks like they kind of like split up maybe the two shots.
Yep. Alex Peacock is mentioning they shot her with blue screen capes and two shots composited.
Oh,
So
well, there you
yeah,
go.
I think it's a combination shot. Uh, and I think this is one of the scenes where you have CGI skin.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I don't think it's has dawned on Madeline that you're living forever, but you're really dead.
A dislocated neck. I've never seen it happen.
Well, I guess he's thinking
Oh,
that lets me off the hook. I guess I didn't kill her. She is backward from the dead. Yes, Johnny Devick.
oh,
You need a doctor. Okay. Let's see how well that turns out. Mm. Matt's posting the picture of Spaceballs, where he's got his butt in front. Ah, Spaceballs 2. When is it coming out?
well, that's a good point. I almost forgot that was a thing.
Ah, here we go. Sidney Pollack is the ER doc.
I was just gonna say, yeah, looks like Sidney Pollack.
Yep. Just, I mean, he's a very famous director and he just shows up here as the doc. Probably, friends with Zemeckis. And all I'm seeing, he's credited as being the ER doctor. I don't even think he has a name. If anybody can see his name on that tag, let's shout out. Yep. Yeah, that would be kind of a shock if your patient doesn't have a
A
pulse, no
heartbeat.
heartbeat, and is probably, what, 60 degrees? Yeah, interesting point, Calbot. As in Jurassic Park, which came out a year later, there is a lot less CGI in these effects than you would think. Um, yeah, Jurassic Park basically opened opened that up to a lot of directors and a lot of studios who didn't think it was feasible, um, profitable, and whatnot. Oh, Calbot, thank you. Spaceballs 2, not until next year. Okay, so he's going into shock a little bit, examining a dead body, and there's no way she should be alive. The makeup on Bruce Willis makes him look like An over the hill alcoholic, um, that has not really taken care of himself. Oh no, she's okay. She's going to pass out. Not a good idea in a hospital. Mm.
Oh, oh, what the hell happened to him?
Um, Very briefly, it looks like him and his girl were tennis players. Does it look like they were wearing tennis outfits?
Yeah. Ah.
And there he is on the table. So that implies he didn't have a chance to tell anybody. I have a patient who is clinically should be dead. Oh,
They took her to the
thank you.
morgue.
Alex Peacock. That is one of my favorite movies from the 80s. Sidney Pollack played Dustin Hoffman's agent in Tootsie.
Hmm.
Such a good movie. Bill Murray was in it, Terry Garr, Jessica Lange, I believe.
Hmm. I remember I saw him on Michael Clayton a couple years ago too. That was kind of a weird
Oh,
movie.
George Clooney was in that, right?
Yep.
Michael Clayton.
Yep. I like how these nuns are like floating seemingly on the ground here. Oh, they're definitely on a track. They're not really walking.
Definitely. Um, so he's having some kind of breakdown, or he's just lost touch with reality.
Well, I like the fact that she fainted, and so they naturally assumed that she was just dead, and they took her down to the
Dead.
morgue.
And what a shock the coroner's gonna get.
Oh, Miss Swift, you're right. He was also in Eyes Wide Shut, which I have mixed feelings about
Ooh.
as a movie.
I have not seen Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, that's a weird one. That was
I
Stanley
hear.
Kubrick's coup de grace.
Yep. That's what I hear. If you really want to see like the encapsulation of Kubrick's work, you would want to watch that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have mixed feelings about that.
Yep.
Good point, Alex. He works in a mortuary and is scared of the morgue. Maybe, yeah, maybe he's just afraid of seeing his alive wife in the morgue. Well, that would make sense if Madeline doesn't comprehend that she's dead because it wasn't told to her outright, you are going to die. She was just given the warning, you and your body are going to be around for a very long time and you need to take care of it. Right? I remember that was just the warning, not that you were dead.
Oh, Alex Peacock just posted a GIF of the flying nun, which I never got to see, but
The
I was told was quite
flying.
a thing back in the day with Sally Field.
Yeah, it was. It made no sense, but that was one of her, I think, one of her first roles as a quote unquote grown up,
Oh yeah, I mean she looks
as she
baby faced in that
transitioned
one.
from, yeah, from child star to grown up Hollywood.
Yeah, I'm sure it makes perfect sense. You know, she flew around, she solved crimes, had adventures. You know, it's just the things one does when one wears a hat with wings on it.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, there was nothing special about her hat.
She just
It
could just
just
fly.
it caught the wind right. Oh, there you go. We have shit. That's like probably the The only curse word.
Ooh,
Oh,
man.
that was close.
Dude, that was either some impressive stunt work or they used some CG for that too. Miss Swift posting a gift of I can't remember her name, the woman who played the nun in Blues Brothers. Um, I want to say Kathleen Freeman. Is it Miss Swift? Is that who that is?
All right, let's do a search. If you know, shout it out. Um,
Formaldehyde. Oh my lord.
yep, was played by actress Kathleen Freeman,
Oh man. I guess I'm just too good.
and she was the stern ruler wielding head of the orphanage where Jake and Elwood Blues were raised.
Yep.
And she reprised her role in the 1998 sequel,
Yep.
Blues Brothers 2000.
He's using spray paint.
This is where I think the writer, the director, instead of just making him a coroner, they made him specialize in the makeup of the dead because this really is where they would need him, the two gals in his life. And he would make their dead body look alive.
Oh,
Oh,
a little bit of
oh yes.
lavender.
Um, Matt is posting some pictures of Fountain of Youth in movies. We have Brazil, we have Tangled, Hocus Pocus, and the Apple TV movie Fountain of Youth. Or is that a show? Oh, it's a new movie. Oh, new movie, May 23rd. Oh, that's right. I saw the previews of it. He just, he's like this wishy washy guy who is letting these women just walk all over him.
Well, I like how he's kind of got some initiative now because he thinks he's found something different and impressive with Madeline, and so he's now trying to hold on to that. How does she know she's dead?
They poisoned her, or that was just
Well, that was their
part of the
plan,
plan, but they
but
didn't
they didn't
actually
go. Yeah, so how
do
does
it.
she know that she's dead? Unless I missed something.
Oh, that does it. She insulted her bad actress. That cut to it. Yeah, Alex, that's a picture of the scene that's coming up. That's another big reveal. Matt saying if people walked all over him, his name would be Matt. Yep,
Hmm.
that's an old joke, but I'm bum.
It's.
It's alive! It's alive! Okay,
I like
someone
how
should post a GIF of the original Frankenstein movie where he was saying that. He said, it's alive!
I like how they refer to each other as mad and hell. It seems to me appropriate words. She took out the shotgun.
Uh-huh. Here we go.
Oof.
This is another one of the really good effects. There you go. Matt is posting it. It's alive from Young Frankenstein. Stein.
Frank machine.
Frankenstein. Oh, Johnny Devick is saying this movie could benefit from a crossover with American Vacation. So Madeline does not know about Helen, and Helen doesn't know about Madeline's secret.
Right. I
And
got a
Ernest is
twinkling
just,
secret. Honestly, I
he's
could use
just
a drink at that
beside
moment too.
himself. What was that?
Honestly, I could use a drink at that moment too.
But so Ernest works around dead bodies all the time, and now he's surrounded by death in his real life, and he's just losing it.
Oh my god, he's a Republican too.
Hey, I wouldn't want to be in prison either. Oh, Alex Peacock, that's a classic gif. Abby who? Abby Normal. Yeah, when he's questioning Igor about the brain. It's Abby someone. What's the name? Abby Normal. Abby Normal. And her eyes have changed.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yep. So this effect at the time, back in the 90s, very impressive. It's I think it's a combination of a practical effect with the green screen.
Yeah, it's gotta
Yeah,
be.
that's going to take a lot of spackle to fix that hole. Okay, yep, the little lights going on in Madeline's head. Yeah, so her eyes have changed. So I'm guessing she might have been wearing part of the backstory of the character was wearing some kind of contact lens, and it got washed away in the pond.
October 1985.
Yeah, I just noticed that Johnny Devick. AI, she took the youth potion on October 26, 1985 as a nod to Back to the Future,
Huh.
which would have been 7 years prior to the events of this movie, which would then correlate with when Madeline supposedly took Ernest away. Oh, Johnny Devick, I guess the only hope here is an open relationship. But bum.
Oh god.
Okay, another really good effect, combination of practical and CGI blended together. Um, Apparently, in this scene, this fight scene with the shovels, Meryl Streep actually hit Goldie Hawn and
Oof.
scarred her up, hit her.
Oof.
Oh, Johnny Devick, whoever made this scene must have been thinking it was hilarious. But bum. All right, little bit of animation put in for good measure. That, believe it or not, back in the day, that was an effect that um, got a lot of attention. The simple act of throwing the stick through the hole in her.
Oh man.
Yep. This skin right here, a lot of it is CGI, which seems so tame. I mean, here we are in 2026. Everything is CGI, and it's just effortless at this stage in the game. But yeah, there was a point where it was not easy to computer generate an effect like that. Mad Matt Goldie Hawn won't win. She doesn't have the guts. But ooh, that is sad. She has to hold up her head because of all the damage done to her neck. At a certain point, it would be smashed beyond, yeah, beyond saving. That would be interesting. There she goes. Yep. And it's interesting now to look back at a movie like this. Um, I heard an interview this past week specifically referring to the movie True Lies and some of the effects that were created for that movie. And there was someone who had made a comment, they don't make movies like this anymore because back in the day a lot of people were in wonder about how they did that. When a really good effect you would see on the screen, you would always wonder, how did they do that? And he said that's missing in a lot of movies today because we never ask, how did they do that? Because we know the answer.
Yeah.
In 2026, it's CGI. That's all you really got to know. Or
Mhm.
AI. Um, unless there is a special little movie or something that comes along these days that has a little bit of something different. As the audience, we aren't left wondering how they did it. But back then in 1992, that's where we were at in the industry. And a lot of the practical effects in the 80s.
Her eyes are so gray.
That is a bizarre like clear blue, silver, almost white.
It's like a T virus looking.
All right, so these gals have to team up because they realize someone's got to take care of our bodies.
Why is he taking the dartboard?
Um, yeah, I think Ernest has had enough. Miss Swift, yeah, creepy eyes on both, but Helen's are extra wrong. Yes. Yep, now she's got color, and now she's got the contact lenses. All right, well, don't blame him. Ernest has had enough. Yeah,
Oh.
Swift, the importance of being earnest. Ernest held captive. Ernest um, being manipulated.
Like some breakfast. Good lord, that's like a triple.
That's, yep, that is. That's like a carafe of booze. Johnny Depp, do they need to feed? Would be a question here.
Oh,
Probably
whoever
not. I
still
don't think
help.
they have
Yeah.
stomachs. They don't have circulatory systems.
Well, Goldie Hawn definitely doesn't have a stomach anymore. She doesn't know where to put it.
Yeah, if she did have one before, she doesn't have one now. It's all cement.
He takes the trinket.
Well, I guess their only hope is that he does take the potion. Otherwise, he's free to leave. Nope. Almost. He almost was there.
Hmm. Good for you, Ernest. Oh, well, there we go.
Oh, that'll do it. Oh,
Jeez.
that's right. They wouldn't want to push him down the
The
stairs
stairs
yet.
that would
He has
kill
to
him,
take the
yeah.
potion first. Yeah. All right. He's just been very easily manipulated.
Hmm.
Without giving anything away, I just hope he would have the sense to get out of it.
Oh, Johnny Devick. I also love that part too in Terminator 2 where they use those two police officer guys that were twins. They also Linda Hamilton also had a twin. I think they used her for in that film too. So yeah, it's just a old trick but a effective one. Oh la la!
Yep,
Is that
but not
Fabio back
enough.
there?
That is Fabio. Yep. I was waiting for that to show up. Matt posted a GIF of Fabio when he was doing his "I cannot believe it's not butter" commercials. Yep.
Jesus.
Fabio was everywhere. Started out as a model for Harlequin romance book covers,
Yep.
and I guess delved into acting a little bit, um, modeling, a whole lot of modeling. Don't know what he's up to these days. Oh, yeah, he's still around.
Where does she keep getting more of
Where?
this potion?
Yeah, and I was just thinking, where is she getting all of this potion? Probably just made a deal with the devil because there is some kind of supernatural element to all of this.
Well, she's definitely got the Egyptian Ankh there, so I guess it's implied that this is some sort of like Egyptian magic, like with the pharaohs and mummies and yada yada yada. Oh, there's a little digital mapping there.
Yep, just a little bit. That's where you go. You tease him,
I don't think he's going to take it though.
but he has the fortune of seeing the effects of it. She doesn't need to give him a warning because he already knows what the warning is. So yeah, will he or won't he?
He's like Don Quixote.
Oh,
No, not the greatest
um,
compliment.
Calbot is saying maybe it's like a sourdough starter, and it just keeps on, yeah, keeps on living. Oh, Miss Swift, Fabio, Nitro from American Gladiators, and I don't know who the third bodyguard is. Well, if he drinks it, who would have to pay her for the potion?
That's true. Well, she said also it was a different price for everybody.
Yep. But he doesn't, she didn't tell him that. She's just kind of forcing it, almost forcing it down his throat.
That's a good question.
Yeah, seriously, probably no one has mentioned that to her before. There is a subtext here about Americans or anybody in the world and their search for youth, vitality, and that fountain of youth. It all
Whoa,
makes
nice
sense.
toss.
That was a good shot, Mr. McLean. That's like a John McClane move. Oh, Alex Peacock posted a picture of American Gladiators way back when. That's going back 30 years or so.
I mean, a couple years ago, didn't they try to bring American Gladiators back, and it just didn't work out? I take it.
Yeah, could have been.
Well, at least Bruce is dressed appropriately for whatever the hell this is.
Yep. And here we have supposedly all of the people that have also taken the potion. We had Andy Warhol,
I was gonna say.
um, Marilyn Monroe, and my Amazon X-ray is saying there was a Greta Garbo in there too.
Huh.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't Elvis make an appearance or a mention? Oh, yeah. Alex is saying can't recreate the late 80s and early 90s cheese that was American Gladiators. Oh, for sure. There's Elvis.
Oh God.
There you go. That's what happened to Elvis. So you would have to fake your own death over and over again, just like in Highlander. Yeah, so Ernest is stuck in this building and he doesn't want to be immortal. Yeah, I don't think I would want to be either.
Not like this, anyway.
Not like that. Um, okay, being immortal or having an extremely long lifespan, if you were like Wolverine and you can regenerate yourself, um, that's something different. That's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
where I would lean towards if you can regenerate.
Oof.
Ooh, yeah, ow. They would have gotten a chunk of flesh.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I had a pit bull once bite me on my arm through my leather jacket. It still left a mark that I
Oh,
have to this day.
probably just a playful bite, right? Wasn't trying to hurt you.
Well, it was a friend's dog, but he didn't train him very well, so he didn't like the fact I was around and just took a chomp. But again, left a mark, but nothing serious.
Yeah, that's lucky.
Good thing I was wearing my jacket. Wow, this movie has taken a turn here.
Yep, and now it's a escape room.
Yeah,
It's run for your life.
that's right.
Yeah, and this movie has just been racing along. We have less than 15 minutes left.
Now it's Die Hardest.
Oh, this is like Die Hard, isn't it? John McClane's got to get out. So these
Whoa.
gals have got to realize he's not the only one in the world that is a what cosmetician to dead bodies.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that can do that.
But he also is the one that knows about their condition and has kind of accepted it. If they try to convince someone else, they'd probably react the same way. They'd just be terrified and just run away.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. Ah, he's in a quandary. Drink it or die. And what's he gonna choose?
Gonna pour it out, I bet.
All right, what do you think, guys? Moment of truth. But Ernest has to realize if he does live forever, he's got to live with those two.
That's right.
You know what? Yeah, I probably wouldn't drink it either. Oh, Johnny Devick is saying I read some of the Honor Harrington books, and there they had a treatment for their most senior military officials that kind of doubled their lifespan. Guess that would be a fine start. Yeah, that would be a way that would be acceptable to have immortality. Yes, Johnny Devick, Aragorn in Lord of the Rings did also have a long lifespan, didn't he? Yeah, he wasn't immortal. He just had a very long lifespan or aged really, really slow. Okay, so he didn't die. There's a lot of comedic quips in this movie, too. It's like a horror sci fi comedy
Hmm,
with a little action in it.
that's pretty neat.
All right, well,
Um,
he's not out of the woods yet. He's still got to get away.
Miss Swift
Um,
says that was Jim. Was that really supposed to be Jim Morrison?
was it should have been in my X-ray, my Amazon X-ray that it was Jim Morrison, but that would make sense.
Oh, don't tell me that's James Dean.
Was that James Dean's car?
He had the guy that
Um,
turned around had a very
oh,
James Deany looking face. I don't think James
yeah. Does
Dean could
anybody
have.
know there was that
No,
James Dean reference?
I don't think he
Um,
could have resurrected himself with a potion. That was a pretty bad wreck.
that was James Dean. Yep. Bruce Willis's character also steals Dean's 1955 Porsche 550 Spider to escape. There you go. Some yeah. There you go. You know what, Miss Swift, you're right. Nowadays, Tupac would probably be in the crowd. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're starting to peel. That is entirely unacceptable. So it appears that when their body died, underneath all of that paint, it's just gray forever. That is the most horrifying realization that they have had this whole movie is that they are stuck together forever. And right on, we are fast forwarding 37 years.
This is in 2029. Huh.
3 years from now. And Ernest says funeral. And here we have the juxtaposition of someone who doesn't want to be immortal and wants to live a very full life. And by all appearances, now we're hearing about Ernest's full life. that he had while he was alive versus what an empty existence these two women now have, alive forever. Not living forever. You are immortal. I guess alive would be a stretch.
Ernest AA chapter. Well, at least he became
Yep.
a saint after all this experience.
Yep. And you can get just a glimpse of what Madeline looks like under that veil. Um, yeah, Johnny Devick, interesting point. Wouldn't he need to hide? If they found him, they would probably kill him. That's a good point because he's the one that knows their secret. He's the one that knows where the secret lair is. Or maybe they kept an eye on him and he hadn't said a word. Well, he did say a word about it. He did mention them.
Hmm.
So yeah, wouldn't they wanted to kill him? Yeah, and maybe that's a little plot point, a little hole in the plot. Yes, Miss Swift, you know what? In the end, these two deserve each other.
Hmm.
And they're still searching for that um, eternal youth. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, okay, John Ingle, who plays, he's credited as a eulogist, but he's the priest given the eulogy. He was in General Hospital, I believe, for decades, and I think up until the point that he passed away.
Oh,
Oh, this is a great effect, which is a pretty easy practical effect. No CGI needed. There's no reference to her walking funny, but I can imagine over the years she's probably twisted her legs out of shape quite a few
mhm.
times, probably. Okay, the movie ain't over yet. Oh, there they go.
Oh,
There you go. Yes, Miss Swift, he played Edward Quartermain on General Hospital until his death after taking over when the previous actor passed. Yep. Goldie Hawn delivers the last line. Brilliant.
oh God,
That was that was a good effect.
it was.
Um, and the only thing that gets me is that nobody saw that. I can imagine if anybody from the church, anybody on the street had seen that, um, that's it. All right, Johnny Devick, yeah, that was a dry ending. And Mad Matt says, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. Alex Peacock is saying, good, fun, silly movie. Yeah, just a very silly, lighthearted movie, great effects. Um, you know, very standard movie fluff.
Yep.
And um, yeah, Eric, it was a fun movie to rewatch. Yeah, it's not one that's on my repertoire to watch all that often, but it has got its charm. Um, yeah, so let's hear. Okay, Sith Sister is typing. I gotta hear your wife's cheese rating on this one. Um, and all right, what else we got coming down the pike, guys? Just a reminder, we have our first Western for a few dollars more. We're going to be
Ooh.
doing that next week, and that's going to round out March. Um, and I want to give you guys maybe like a month's worth of movies ahead of time. So we'll see if I can pull it all together for next week and give a sneak peek for April. Um, but this was great fun. It's always a great fun with you guys on Sunday. Um, all right. Yeah, Alex Peacock, few dollars or Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Yeah, we're gonna do for a few dollars more. I think because it's a shorter movie, I think Good, Bad, and the Ugly is like a 3 hour movie.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know as if I'm up for a 3 hour movie just yet. Um, I'm not opposed to it, but I think it's gotta hit a mood because 3 hours seems a lot longer. Um, Johnny Devick is saying, "Oh, it feels a bit meh. The sets feel so dark and closed off." Yeah, it was kind of a dark movie.
Hmm.
Um, Here we go. Sis Sister. I love the effects, but forgot how dark the comedy was. Always a fun watch. Wife's cheese rating. The movie is like the Nepalese cheese chapuri. The cheese can semper
Super
viva.
Viva.
Live forever. Okay, live forever by cutting off the mold. Just like the two main stars, they just drank the potion and poof. This is a great movie portraying the grotesque consequences of immortality.
Mm.
That's a great way of summing it up. Yep, and then you just cut off the bad to keep yourself living forever. Um, yeah, Matt, as long as it's not a 3 hour tour, as in Gilligan's Island. Yeah. Yeah, I really got to gear us up for a 3 hour movie. It just seems really long. I can do two, little after, little past two. That would be fine. All right. Well, hey guys, short and sweet. That was a lot of fun, and I'm so happy you guys joined us today. We're gonna do it again next week, same time, same channel. Um, for a few dollars more is from 1965. Should be readily available on all the services. If you have any problems, then let me know. All right, Mr. Furzel, any last comments before we sign us off?
Well, I'll just say that that movie was actually funnier than I remember it being. It really had me chuckling at a couple of places. So definitely a black comedy, but definitely enjoyable. Glad I went back and watched that again.
There you go. That's great. Calbot is saying, thanks, Sharon, Mr. Furzel in chat. Fun as always. Absolutely.
Thanks,
Um,
Cowbell.
all right, guys. Well, let's do it again next Sunday and just be safe out there. Be good to yourselves. Don't take life too seriously because sometimes it does get really serious. Um, and if it gets a little bit too serious this week, come join us again on Sunday. We're going to keep it light and have some fun.
Yeah.
Um, Thank you, Mr. Furzel.
Yeah.
Pleasure
Thank
as
you.
always.
Yeah. Same.
All right. Bye, guys. We'll see you
See
next
you
week.
guys.